Evil genius. All right, everybody, return the volume up. Get ready. It's time for the Cave Sports. I'm your host, Anastasia, and I am joined each week to talk football, social topics, with the greatest co-host on the island of Hawaii, the evil genius, Mr. Pepper himself. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. I guess we'll just continue this discussion that we keep having. I'm the greatest co-host ever, not just on the island, ever.
Okay, well, we're gonna go with Hawaii today.
Ever.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, I'll give you the West Coast.
Ever.
Oh, Lord. Well, as always, guys, we're going to cover hot topics and sports and entertainment. But make sure you have everything you need for kickoff each Thursday evening. We're going to tackle top 10 rankings, notable injuries, and roster lineup changes. There were tons this week, so that should be kind of interesting and fun to talk about. And, of course, our upset and sure thing picks of the week. So you can catch us every Thursday morning. And then also make sure to follow us for updates on Facebook and Instagram. We are at the Cave Sports on Facebook and Cave Sports Podcast on Instagram. And we are now officially on YouTube. We just have a new logo design and intro, which I like. I love. It's definitely is our personalities. And so make sure that you guys find us at Cave Sports TV on YouTube. Just click the subscribe button and then click the bell next to it, and it'll alert you next time a new video drops, and you can actually listen to us on YouTube now. But you can always still catch us on iTunes, Spotify, and of course Google Play.
Yep. I want to say a side note, great job getting those people on the logo. It's phenomenal.
It's fun, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was really excited about it, and we had a concept, and then Pepper added like our floating heads, and I was like, I would love to see this like fully realized and animated, and I just wanted to see it like what it could be. And I was like, I see where we're going, I see it, I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm just really excited, and like the animation took it there for me. Like once I had the logo, I was excited, but then when I got the animation done to open up our YouTube videos, I was like, okay, yeah, we official now, like, yeah, it's real. Yeah.
Cave Sports TV.
Eventually, when we decide we want to really take it there, maybe we'll actually be on video. Obviously, that's a bigger endeavor and a bigger commitment, but one day we might get there. We'll see.
People can see my pretty face live.
I don't want to see yours. They'll probably come to see mine, but
yeah, my face isn't pretty. It's
you have
old
a face
and
for radio.
Yes. I have the greatest co-host face ever.
Oh my god. Well, you guys, we are going to start our show off, of course, with the upset pick of the week. It's a great way to kind of just jump into what's going on in the NFL. There are some pretty decent games this week. How do you feel about the game so far?
There's nothing as far as the spreads go that's completely disrespectful yet.
No, there isn't. But I think that is because these teams have been like disrespecting themselves. Like there's only 3 teams that are undefeated right now, and I feel like last year this time there was probably way more than this. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
yeah, I think it went to like
it went for a while.
I think it went to like week 6 last year.
Yeah. I don't know, but there's only 3 right now. I mean, there's I thought the Chargers San Francisco spread was going to be substantially more. Obviously, with San Francisco basically having a guess who for quarterback.
Yep.
But the spread is only 10. But the Chargers I guess that kind of shows that I think people thought the Chargers were going to be better this year, and I mean they're not bad, but they're just not as good as I think people anticipated them to be. But I think they're good enough to score 2 touchdowns more than San Francisco, basically.
Agreed. Agreed.
But that spread's only
I mean,
10. It's the same as that my upset of the week spread.
yeah. So I'm looking at these and I'm trying not to just be a homer.
Is that
I,
possible for you?
yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
It is. It's possible. It's possible. So I don't want to just be a homer because, of course, I'm gonna take my squad anyway. I am gonna go with the Dolphins
I figured you would.
going up to New England.
Yeah.
I just don't like 6.5.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
that's a
don't
little
like that.
high. I think, and
Yeah,
I have 7 on mine, so yeah, I'm
yeah,
just like, New England's looking not like New England. I
yeah.
just,
yeah.
they're
New
not
England's looking
dependable.
like a regular team
They're looking
right
real
now.
regular. They're looking like a team
Yeah,
I can't do a pick six on like a I bet every week in pick six teams I think are gonna win and cover a spread or whatever the case may be, and I usually should be able to depend on old faithful New England, and I definitely cannot now. Like I have to look at them side eye because I don't know.
yeah. They
And
like
Burkhead's out now too, so
yeah. He wasn't doing much this year at all,
well he
but
wasn't
yeah, now
healthy.
he's out.
Wasn't healthy.
Yeah,
He
I
was
just
a weapon last year.
I just felt it was like okay. It's always tough going against your old coordinators, but they like the Lions are completely dysfunctional. So I didn't. I thought that was embarrassing.
It was
Just flat
highly.
out embarrassing. Yeah.
Highly. Especially because Stafford, to me, is one of the most inconsistent. I don't care what anybody says. He is inconsistent. He will have a phenomenal game 1 second and a terrible one the next. And I think that's why his numbers are really skewed. Because
Yeah.
if you have a few phenomenal games and then you patch that up with like 1 or 2 terrible games or something like that, it's just the numbers are completely skewed as to what's reality.
Yeah, and what's sad is that like I'm looking at last week's stats and they have New England's defensive coordinator and New England's already shorthanded and hasn't been playing ball or D this year, but he still only got 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And you should already know what defenses they running on you because you got their coach, and that's all you can muster at home. Yeah,
They definitely Detroit is definitely benefiting from the disarray that is with New England, and I still think that Brady and Belichick are like not on the same page. I
yeah.
think that last year's who did they sit in the game last year at the last minute, and Brady, and nobody was consulted or told that was going to happen. Who was that?
Was that was their cornerback in the Super Bowl? Was it
Yes.
Malcolm Butler?
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think it still stems back from that. I think that Brady is in a position now where he's like, you know what? I'm in my 40s. Like, I'm still very talented, but you need to give me the weapons. You need to give me
yeah,
people that can make this happen. Like, me and Gronk can't do it by ourselves.
yeah. Well, their main dude is out for doping for like another week.
Who Gordon?
Ed- Edelman.
Oh, Edelman. Oh, yeah.
Edelman, yeah, been suspended those first 4 games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Taking the juice.
Well, it's something, had they not kicked old boy off the sideline, maybe he would have been just, on the same plan as Brady was. See, that guy had them on a nice cleanse, and he had them on he
Yeah,
had them on the real stuff. But no,
he got them on some kind of super lettuce.
yeah. See, they were passing tests perfectly fine under his stuff.
Mm,
So no, okay. I
oh
think
well.
that's a pretty good though. So you're gonna go with Miami then, and New
Yeah,
England as your upset pick. I think that's a great one. Okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Buffalo and Green Bay. I just still think that Green Bay is suspect. I love Aaron Rodgers, but that defense is suspect. Clay Matthews, I can guarantee you, will probably get another roughing the passer call.
That dude has
Um,
been gotten done just so dirty this
I'm
year.
telling you. So I can almost guarantee. And even though Buffalo is looking dysfunctional, I think that quarterback move might have given them the push they needed. Just a little that win last week, and to win it handily. Like not to like kind of win it, but basically make it look really easy. I think that was a confidence boost for them. So I think that 10 spread. I'm not okay with that. So I'm going to go with Buffalo Green Bay as my upset. And I won last week my
Yeah,
upset pick, didn't I?
you did. You did. You took the Giants. You
Mm-hmm.
called the Giants on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't trust them. And I'm not trusting your pick of this week either.
Well,
Um,
I won both. I won Thursday pick last week, and I
yep.
won my upset pick.
Yep. So
So
I went 1-1, and I think that Buffalo going into Minnesota deal was an anomaly. I think they got hit with the curse of Kirk Cousins ineptitude, and and somehow it trickled through the whole team.
the Cousins
Um,
curse, is that what we're calling that?
I'm I don't. Here's what I thought. I initially thought it was the Cousins curse,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did some research this week on their player that's lost his marbles,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it might have affected the entire team. And I think they're really worried about old boy's health.
Oh, I'm sure. And didn't he break
And
into one of the teammates' homes?
well, that teammate is denying it now, but
Okay.
I can see that, just trying to keep it in house, trying to, not put any more of his business in the street. But the deal is, all you had to do is talk to hotel staff, and he's been going crazy at the hotel all week. And it's quite sad that somebody could, be at the prime of their life and making the type of money that they are and have a nervous breakdown. But, mental health
Mm-hmm.
is huge. And the organization seems to be doing, all they can to try and help the guy. But
Mm-hmm.
I think his absence and his kind of going craziness might have what got Buffalo a win last week. Let's just put it like
Okay.
that.
That's a good analysis. Well, so it looks like
Yeah.
it's Efferson Griffin,
Yeah.
defensive end. So that's the one that basically is dealing with a mental breakdown right now. And first off,
Yep.
praying for him and his family, because that's stressful. And
Yep.
I mean, we've obviously seen a lot of situations with football players, and looks like he's 29, so he's technically in that age bracket where he's been in the league and played long enough to where even the helmet advances weren't as great.
Yeah. Well, at least he's got the pension now. So
Correct. Yeah. So,
So
CTE is obviously something very real, and you do take that risk when you play this sport. I mean, it just is what it is. So yeah, I'm praying. I'm hoping that that's something that they can. Hopefully, it's just a chemical imbalance that they can medicate. Could bipolar
work something
disorder.
out.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Some of the lot. It is not something that you can't get over all the time. Sometimes with the right medication and the right therapy, you can be a able-bodied, successful individual going through life. So praying for
Yeah.
him.
So
That makes sense though. That's a great observation to
yeah.
kind of look at that, because I think if I was a player too, I mean that's like a player passing away, or like with
Yeah.
Shazier in
Shit,
Pittsburgh.
yeah. And they just had their coach pass away right before training camp.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
They are human
uh,
beings, so I mean
they are
obvious-
human beings.
obviously those
And
things are going to impact them.
Yeah, I just don't see Buffalo playing like they have all season and then turning it around on the road against the second best defense in the league.
Well,
So, so
they're playing Green Bay, so we'll see. I think Green Bay is suspect. That's just my personal opinion.
that's fair.
You know, same reason why I'm like New England's a suspect. And for the first time, and I don't even know how long, New England is not in the top 10 of the power rankings, which I
I
might have
love
done a
it.
little happy dance when I saw that.
I love it. I love Tom Brady crying
Man,
in UGG boots. It makes my nipples hard. It
I
really
mean,
does.
there's no Packers in this, there's no Patriots in this. I'm just like, whoa, yes, God. No Seattle. I mean,
I-
there's like, I mean, some of the top teams from the last couple years, are not in here.
Yep.
So, but to move on, that's a great segue. Make sure you guys do follow us on Instagram and Facebook because we do post our upset picks of the week, so you can kind of follow along, and feel free to post yours as well. But segueing, on to the power rankings, and I pull these from NFL.com. So if you guys feel like you have a different top 10, I totally get it. Half these I hate anyway, usually, but I want to stay consistent and I want to pull it from the technical source for the top 10s. But there was some huge shakeup after last week. We
There
saw
was.
quite a few teams drop. I was actually watching Colin Cowherd, which anybody knows I love Colin Cowherd, and he, for the first time ever, and I guess the history of him doing his like power rankings or whatever, he did not have the Patriots in his. The first time ever. So like
Wow.
let that sink in. You know, that's real. Like for them to not be, that's a scary thing for that organization to be in this position.
Tom Brady crying in UGG boots. I
Yes.
love it.
So yeah, top five are Rams at number one. The Chiefs have moved up two finally. They should have been number two anyway, I thought, but they are now number
Yeah.
two. We have the Eagles at three. They really bumped up now. They're up five from last week. Jags are at four. They've moved down, which is totally okay with me. The Panthers have shot up to five whole slots from 10 to 5. That ranks out the rate ranks out. That wraps up the top five. So we have Rams, Chiefs, Eagles, Jags, and Panthers. So Pepper, tell me what you think looking at that top five. How you feeling about it?
I would put the Panthers just out of the top five, and I would put the Saints up.
Okay.
Um, not saying that my Bengals are horrible, but I don't think beating them should move you up 5 slots.
Right, which it did.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous. The Saints should have been in it last week, and but yeah, that's how I feel about that. Now, this bottom five, I have issues with big
I
time.
have issues with the fact that one of only three teams that's 3-0 is still only ranked number 10, which means
Yeah,
that they're basically saying, and that's the Miami Dolphins. So the only three teams that are undefeated now are the Rams and Chiefs, which are at 1-2, and the only other undefeated team now is the Dolphins, which obviously they're saying that because of A, strength of schedule, and B, I think they still are just not totally convinced about Tannehill and the rest of the
yeah.
squad. Because it's kind of like a, woo, Tannehill, you back? Like, I just feel like he's been gone for so long. And then we had like that, we had that flash of Cutler that I was like, oh God, please take that away. So to have him back to be performing as well as he is after ACL, wasn't it ACL injury for him
Yeah, it
too?
was ACL. Yep.
They need to do, is somebody doing research on that? Because there's a lot of QBs out with these ACLs. Like, I don't know. Is something not being wrapped up enough? Are they not stretching
It's
enough? Like, what's going on?
the
Because, yee.
the A the ACL for football players is now the new Tommy John surgery.
Oh my God. It's just like everybody's ACL. Like, oh, you tore it. Oh, no big
Yeah,
deal. It's like no big deal now. It's like
yeah,
everybody, it's happening to everybody, but it like kills your whole season. So, I don't
yep.
know. That's just a little suspect to me. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's Adrian Peterson went and found some kind of super healing method, and
Right?
so So
Oh,
everybody just kind of followed his model now.
oh man. Well, he's still
And
balling though. Like
yeah,
I you know what's so funny as remember did I not talk about Adrian Peterson last year about when you
yeah,
have an older veteran, running back when you put them in the wrong system, they will look like old running backs. And when you put them in the right system, they can be highly successful, and he is one of them.
yep. True story.
So he is proving
True
me to be
story.
right. So tell me about this bottom 10 that for me the thing that bothered me was obviously the Dolphins being 10. What about the bottom 6? Bottom 6 you guys are the Saints are at 6. They moved up 6 slots. Obviously they had that shootout with Atlanta. So which
Yep.
helped my fantasy. Thank you. Thank you Saints. 7 the Steelers moved up 9. Okay. The Buccaneers are at 8. The Vikings are at 9. They moved down 6 and then the Dolphins moved up 7 at 10. So,
Yeah,
how are you feeling about that
I,
bottom 6 or bottom 5?
I, my biggest issue is the Steelers still shouldn't be in the top 10.
I agree. I
Um,
don't think they should either.
I think the Dolphins should go ahead and be 7. They're
Yes,
undefeated.
correct.
Um, then the Vikings 8 and the Buccaneers 9 and the Washington should be 10.
Yeah.
Um, I don't understand how the Steelers moved up 9 spaces by beating the Buccaneers, and the fact that they have the same record as the Browns and are tied for last in the division, but they are number 7 on the top 10 ranking.
And can we also talk about their non-existent pass coverage? Because
Oh my
I'm pretty
God.
sure that Fitzpatrick was throwing like literal bombs in the air that like torpedoes that had like. But I'm talking like when were the torpedoes first created? I'm thinking like. I'm gonna take a wild guess, like 1940s, like 1940s torpedoes in there that did not have sensories on there, none of that stuff to figure out where it's supposed to go. So like when you shot that shit in the air, you don't know where the hell it's gonna land. That's basically what Fitzpatrick was doing because most of them was when he was being knocked the hell down, and they
Yeah.
were literally catching these bombs. So that pass coverage was non-existent, and I mean, when I tell you it made Fitzpatrick look like a superhero towards the end, I said, "What? Like how, how did that
Well,
happen?"
The Steelers got lucky to win that game,
Oh my God, they got lucky. They got
and
lucky as hell because that I'm telling you right now, he was a bomb away from winning that game. One whole
like
bomb.
they were up 30-10 and almost
Yes.
lost.
That game got exciting as hell at the end. I'm gonna tell you what in NFL, I don't know what strings you pulled to like to make these games feel like this, but man, that one I said, oh yeah, this is going, this is exciting. Like I think
Yep.
I felt a little ashamed for the Steelers that they even let them get that close to coming back. I mean, you were massacring them.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was sad.
how many interceptions did Fitzpatrick throw? Like 3,
3.
4, 12?
Yeah.
I mean, once you've thrown past 2, it feels like 12 to me. Like once you hit past that 2 mark, for that
Pretty
game to be
much.
that close, I was just like, wow, wow,
Oh well.
because they only won
Oh
by
well.
3 points.
Yep. So this week, when the Steelers lose to the Ravens, are they going to go to what 7.5? Like I don't understand. I
They
don't
just,
understand these
they just
rankings.
have to find a way to keep the Steelers in the top 10. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I bet it killed them to take the Patriots. I mean, I bet you
yeah,
it killed them to do it.
yeah.
But take
They were
the
like,
asses out and take the Steelers along with them.
yeah. That was the problem. They were like, the Patriots, the Steelers, and Seattle can't. No, we got to
Right.
put one of them in.
Somebody. Well, they had a tie, so throw
Yeah.
them in there with the Browns,
Yep.
nonetheless.
They're tied for last in the division, but they move up 9 slots. Get out of here.
Man. How'd you feel about Baker? He's starting this week, so I know you and I were talking about Baker and just saying like, hey, if he can keep his attitude in check, he might be all right. But that's going to be the key for him.
Yeah, I started many of Facebook spiffs this week with some of my football commentary,
Hmm.
and
Oh, I know, right? He
some
had
people.
me having to go in. I'm like, do I need to catch a flight? Like, I have this man talking really reckless to me. I don't know who he thinks he is, or who he thought he came across, but I'm the wrong one.
Yeah, he is. That guy was lost. He's lost out on the Big Island.
Hmm.
Um, People on the Big Island, they just have a volcano and nothing else to live for. So I guess he's an old 49ers fan, and so he was upset. But we'll talk about that later
We
when we
will.
get into that topic.
Yeah.
But I had upset some people with my remarks on Thursday as far as good half of football. I cannot wait until
He
Baker
Johnny
Mayfield
Manziel.
turns into Johnny Manziel. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna love it.
Oh
Uh,
man, which is
I'm
a
sorry,
possibility.
you cannot flip off an entire football stadium and then win a Heisman Trophy.
Right.
That's horseshit.
Which he
You
did.
cannot you cannot then run from the cops from your DUI arrest
And then
as they
get drafted
catch you
number
on
one.
YouTube and get drafted number one.
That privilege, yo.
Now, I agree the guy has some talent.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely has that it factor. He
Mm-hmm.
has that it factor more than Johnny Manziel had it on the field. I think he's far more talented than Johnny Manziel
I
was.
agree. I agree.
Uh,
And bigger. And that's why I used to always say I don't know why even Johnny got out because I didn't think he
yeah,
was big enough, to be honest. I
yeah,
didn't think he was
yeah.
ready. Yeah.
However, one half of football against vanilla Jets defense, like they only started blitzing him at the end of the game. That didn't even make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I think they're going to lose this week. I think John Gruden, who studied all his tape and used to be the QB guru for ESPN, is going to
Right.
pick him apart.
Well, I hope for John Gruden's reputation's sake. I mean, it's already pretty tarnished. He does that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not concerned about
Well, I'm just saying for his own. I mean, he
it.
might want to pick
Yeah,
that all the way apart and come out with a W because 0-3, boo boo.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think your
Especially when,
analysis is fine. I think when you brought up Johnny Manziel, Baker is very electric and exciting. Some of the same things people loved about Johnny Manziel, that confidence. And I think that Cleveland really did need that. They really did need a quarterback with like that almost Superman level of confidence. Like you could shoot a bullet at me and I'll catch it. Or my
yeah,
if you or they needed that because the franchise is so dysfunctional and terrible that you almost needed somebody that thought nope, nobody in this world could stop them in order to find some success. So I'm hoping for that franchise because to me there's no room anymore for dead franchises in the league. There's
yeah,
just no more room for that. So if this means that if you bring this guy in and I have to deal with like a shenanigan or two with him, but as long as he doesn't kill anybody or call anybody a nigger or whatever, okay. If he can just play ball and mind his business,
yeah.
I'll be okay.
I wasn't even going. I was about to lie and say I was going to give him a chance. I was not going to give him a chance. But when he came out with the photo shoot before training camp,
With
where
those
he's
shirts.
like standing shirtless with a Bentley and a tiger in front of his
Oh,
vehicle, I was like, oh, I can't wait till you get broken off.
oh my god. That was
I
an
just
awesome
can't.
photo shoot.
That was an awesome photo shoot for somebody who just signed a big contract and has taken their team to the playoffs. That's great. For an unproven rookie, sit your ass down somewhere, dude.
Well, I mean, he's gonna eat some grass, so just
Yeah,
he'll be eating the turf eventually. So stay tuned for that. But that was great. I felt like we were like some football experts with that pick. Because he did not start that game. Tyrod Taylor did. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with that. Maybe they can get Ty. Oh, well, we were talking about this, but I'll be talking about maybe some options for Tyrod. He need to get the hell out of Cleveland though, because I would not want to be the backup to him.
You know, they should trade Tyrod
Don't talk
Taylor.
about it yet till we get there.
Okay.
I know what you're going to say.
Are you? I don't think you knew what I was going to say.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I was about to go left field.
Oh, left. Oh, okay. Oh, good. I want to hear. Okay, tell me. Tell me more. Give it to me.
They should trade Tyrod Taylor for Le'Veon Bell.
Really?
Yes. Who does the Steelers grooming for Big Ben?
That's true. But do you think
No.
that that is the type of quarterback that would be the right fit in Steeler Nation? Like, I don't know.
Not at all.
That's
Not at all.
totally different.
But a concussed Tyrod Taylor is better than any of the past 10 years of Steelers backups. The Steelers haven't had a backup since Charlie Batch.
Right. Yeah, no, they haven't. But I don't know if he wants to. I mean, I don't know if Tyrod wants to be a backup. I mean, I'm sure he'll be a backup, but I don't know. I don't want to send him somewhere to go be some backup just so he can get traded again when they get somebody else in there. I don't know.
I think he could go. I think he
I'm
could go to the
sensitive about
Steelers.
him. I'm sensitive about him after how Buffalo did it. I don't want him. I don't want him to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a benefit for the Steelers. That's a definitely a good trade move.
Yep.
And
So.
but yeah, oh yeah, Cleveland they would definitely benefit from a Le'Veon Bell. Woohoo! They'd have Landry, Bell, like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he'd go to. Would he go to Cleveland? Did he talk about going to Cleveland? Did he talk about that, Le'Veon Bell?
I don't.
I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like Landry said something. Somebody said something about him going to Cleveland.
I don't know. No, I think Landry was talking about if the Giants didn't sign Beckham, that he should come to Cleveland.
That's what it was. Somebody was
I
talking about
remember that.
somebody going to Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they could do
Interesting.
that 1-2 LSU punch or whatever they used to do back in the day.
Right.
The hot tub boys, I guess. I don't know.
Oh Lord. Moving on. Moving on to fantasy sit and start. See how he gives me like those perfect segues of ridiculousness. You can't take him anywhere in public. You can't watch his posts. Don't let him tag you in anything, because then you get the hit
Yeah.
because of his shenanigans. Watch what you text us, man. He could put it out into the world. Just FYI. But we're gonna move on to fantasy sit and starts. This week I know what I'm doing. And I actually don't have some random pick out of the clear blue sky. But I did wide receivers this week.
Oh, white receivers or wide receivers?
Wide
Okay.
wide receivers. And for me, I said to sit every receiver on the 49ers team. So there's no QB,
Oh, yeah.
no explanation needed. I don't even need to go into detail. There's no QB.
Yeah, you need to see the whole team.
I mean, if they had that option, but they don't. So if you have them on your fantasy, you have a receiver from San Francisco, just go ahead and give them a seat. If you have somebody that's even close to in numbers that you can replace them with, send them on down.
Yep.
If I'm shocked this week, that'll be great. I just doubt it.
No, there should be nothing shocking there. I don't even like who. But can somebody tell me where Bethea went to college at?
I couldn't tell you where half them went to college at.
It's CJ Bethea is somehow, and that's what was bothering me about our friend on the Big Island.
Correct. Right.
Who was upset that we were basically making fun of the 49ers plight of not having a quarterback,
Right.
and basically to fill in everyone who doesn't follow us on social media.
Shame on you.
I know. Shame on you. Miss Anastasia with her heart of gold was trying to find a silver lining for the 49ers by saying that, hey, when the Eagles lost their quarterback, they went to the Super Bowl. And basically, my retort was the 49ers are not the Eagles, and fuck their couch. That's what they get for doing Kaepernick dirty. Just plain and simple. I don't care about their silver lining or their fans' feelings. Yeah.
And I responded with hashtag facts. But but it had nothing to do with Jimmy G, who we would talk about later. It had everything to do with the fact that even when he was in that situation and he started his kneeling, that team still loved him. So it wasn't like
Yeah.
he was someplace that didn't love him or didn't want him. And I'm sorry, but they took his coach away. They took Harbaugh away. They took away a system that he was highly effective in, and then they just threw whatever in there. I mean, they literally
Yeah.
threw the assistant in there and said, "Oh, sorry, you're not successful. That we threw this assistant. We're only going to leave in there for 1 year and throw you in this dysfunction." So, I mean, people act like
Yeah.
he was put in a good situation. He wasn't. I'm like, he went from 2 years prior to that 1 year of that horrible assistant with the terrible, humongous mustache. I don't even can't even tell you his name. That's how terrible he was.
At all.
They went from, and he wasn't even a coordinator. He was like a linebacker coach. Something. He was like something random
Yeah.
as all hell. I mean,
I think he was like the O-line coach. And then all of a
yeah,
sudden
he was like
the coach.
nobody. And I'm like, really? That's who you put in there? And he went from taking his team to the Super Bowl, and then the next year taking them to the NFC Championship game. So you're going to tell me somebody that was able to do that 2 years in a row is all of a sudden garbage? How? Houseway.
Yeah. Yeah. When 3 players just retired,
Right.
they were just like, nah, we're out. They lost people in free agency. They
You
didn't
lost your
have a team.
coach. You had no team. Let's keep it 100. They had no team.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, anyway, sit all those receivers. And then for starts, obviously, I hate to say this, but I'm starting Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So, unless Kansas City decides to pick this week to flop, obviously the Denver pass coverage, which, yes, I'm going to say it, is literally at its weakest point it has been in years. Roby's good. He has talent. But you felt the loss of Talib, and you no longer have the no-fly zone with C.J. Harris. I think Pac-Man's out with a groin injury, too. So we basically have a rookie just floating out there. And we got burned last week by Baltimore, like made Flacco look like a quarterback again.
Yeah.
And that
you
was
hate
terrifying. And
You
I
hate
hate Flacco.
Flacco.
I hate Flacco with a passion, and you know, everybody knows this. I don't understand why this man still is a starter in the league. I'm so confused. And maybe because I've talked with other people that I'm like, I'm sorry, how is he still there? And they're like, yeah, we don't know either. And neither does his teammates. But just look for Mahomes to basically hit another record-breaking numbers. I hate to say it. I love my Broncos. But if it's a blowout, you guys are not going to see me crying tears, because it will be not something that was unexpected for me.
Yep.
So those are my sits and starts. What do you think?
Well, I like them. I like them. I would start also, if we're looking at receiver, any receiver for the Bengals or the Falcons.
Oh yeah, because they be lighting it up, and
Yeah.
and I do have Dalton starting this time. I'm like, go ahead and give me one of those weeks you did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where you remember
He's like
you got your
every
ginger on.
3 games. Every 3 games, Dalton looks like an elite quarterback.
He gets his ginger on, boy. That's what I'm just calling it. Anytime he's like really on it, I'm going to call it getting your ginger on, because, redhead community, it's a very rare community, and if they don't keep procreating, they will actually become extinct. So that's why it's like a rare bird, right? So that's what we're going to call his moments of greatness, his ginger moment, because it's his rare bird moment.
Fair enough. Just as long as he gets the Bengals a win, I'll be happy.
Well, get you a playoff win. How about that?
Hey, wins.
No?
Wins are wins.
Maybe,
I need
possibly?
wins. I need as many wins as possible.
Oh man. Well, we always have a topic that we discuss, and I wanted to talk about something that was injury, and then obviously trade focus. And we kind of brought up both these individuals, but the 2 moves needed to be made, and that would be who will replace Jimmy G at San Francisco. Obviously, he went out with an ACL injury, which I mean, like I said, I'm just really concerned about the amount of ACL injuries to quarterbacks. I mean, that is highly concerning. And I mean, you can't just say that it's the hit. So I don't know if it's how they're wrapping. I don't know. Something's not right. And then we have a Le'Veon Bell that is a floater in the wind. Where he's going to go. So, I mean, obviously you've thought about this because you were talking about Tyrod Taylor going to the Steelers. So do you have any thoughts? Obviously we think Kaepernick for Jimmy G. I was thinking, I think they were looking at Nick Foles, but I was like, can they get Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, I would love Tyrod there, but I'm like, man, AJ McCarron I think would be, I guess I'm thinking about Kyle Shanahan's offense because I think I read something that's why he was like hesitant about Colin Kaepernick, but I was thinking AJ McCarron.
Well, AJ McCarron is with the Raiders now. He wasn't even in Buffalo for 6 months.
I know.
Before they shipped him to the Raiders. I don't know. Maybe they'll pull a $10 million deal and pull Cutler back out of the booth.
Please, God, no. Don't do it. If he don't go sit his old no chin having behind down. The man has no chin. I don't trust him. I don't trust a man without a chin and who doesn't tie a real tie. Like a bolo.
Leave the bolo alone. I don't know who they grab as quarterback. I don't care. Yeah.
Okay, well, you're on a sports show, so we care.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Like as I stated, it's what they get. I don't care if they got a call. I don't care if they get Johnny Manziel from the CFL.
Oh, Jesus.
This is what they get. It's what they get. Plain and simple.
This is why that man was cussing him out on his page. Just FYI.
Yeah. Yes. He was having a mental breakdown. Now, as far as Le'Veon Bell, why hasn't Seattle called Pittsburgh at all?
Preach.
That would probably be...
That's where he needs to go.
Pete Carroll's last great move.
I agree.
Because they've got like 9 running backs up there. Nobody can name them. And you give Russell Wilson a weapon like that, and you can legitimately look at going back to the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's what I think should happen up there. As for San Fran, they can eat a dick. I don't care.
Well, I would say about for that Seahawks move with Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry, but your quarterback should not be your biggest rusher.
He shouldn't.
That's not what's supposed to happen. So that tells you everything you need to know, that you need to go get a power. Once you lost Lynch, I don't know how you thought you could continue on without putting a powerhouse in that position. I don't understand in what thought process you think Russell Wilson can continue to play both roles. You will wear him out, and he's going to end up with an ACL injury because he's worn out.
Yep.
It's crazy to me. Get the man a running back.
Plain and simple.
Since you don't want to give him a decent O-line, at least get him a running back. Dang. Somebody that can work with a basic O-line. Like, you need somebody that talented when you have an O-line that's that suspect. You can't just put a rookie back there.
Pretty much. So.
All right. Well, that's how we feel about that. Obviously, those moves are going to be made. Watch out for that. I'm kind of curious as to what our listeners think. Who do you think should take Jimmy G's spot while he is out? And where do you think Bell should go? Those are some big moves. Lots of teams out there could use an offensive weapon like Bell. And, there are a few quarterbacks. I feel like this is like the one time, actually, that there are, in my opinion, quite a few quarterback options. Like, I think maybe 2 years ago, we were like, ooh, there's like nobody, like it was like desert wasteland for QBs. But I think a lot of that was because there were so many QB injuries all at once. I think that definitely made an impact. Yeah. And we're not in that situation right now. So we have this one, which is a little scary, but we'll see.
Yep.
All right. So my cave conquering moment. You ready?
I'm ready.
It's cave conquering moment of the week. Week.
We good.
We run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we cave conquering moment of the week. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Okay, so Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer, they're going to be making history as the first female duo to call a NFL game. So they're going to make their debut this Thursday night. For Amazon Prime. Now, I'm a little irritated that it's not like network television. It's like the streaming on Amazon Prime. They're like, oh, we'll throw the female duo on an Amazon Prime stream. But when you think about honestly how television is working now, especially for a Thursday when some people, the game is so early on the West Coast, a lot of people are actually still at work. They might be wanting to watch this game, and they honestly might be streaming it instead. So I think the audience will actually be bigger than what, I think most people think it's going to be. And frankly, a lot of people cut off cable and just went to, Netflix and Amazon Prime and things of that nature. So although it's, for me, I'm like, really? They're not a network television. But at the same time, I'm like, but I do know a lot of people that don't have cable anymore and are definitely streaming. So they will be reaching an audience. So, it's one step forward. It's better than nobody, than not having this option. So we'll see. And I don't always necessarily like every single female commentator. Like, some of them turn on this really weird voice when they do that. It's like they all of a sudden become manly, and I don't know. I don't get that. I think you can call a game without trying to put more bass in your voice. I don't know, but I'm hoping Hannah Storm that's my girl. She's the one. So
yeah, I've always been a Hannah Storm fan.
Oh yeah.
I am not a huge fan of this Amazon Prime stuff yet. I signed up for Amazon Prime over the summer because I needed to see The Incredibles before Incredibles 2 came out.
Okay.
Cool. So we signed up for Amazon Prime, and then it's been pretty much useless since then.
Oh, I use it all the time. Oh.
Well, every movie that you want to see, you still got to pay for. And I'm like, why the hell did I get Amazon Prime?
Well, not all of them. They have like a whole section. It's not as extensive. I ship with Prime a lot, so that's why I like Prime, because you get the free shipping for Amazon, which is great. Yeah. And they have a lot of really good original shows. So those are some things that I like about it.
I think it's just the market that I'm in here, because we're those two, anytime you order something, people on the mainland, and they say, oh, yeah, free shipping, except for Hawaii and Alaska.
Right.
Except for Hawaii and Alaska. Yeah, I'm in Hawaii, so we don't get shit for free. And therefore, Amazon Prime is not making the best of its abilities for me.
That makes sense. I forget you are on the island.
Yeah.
But you do get beautiful sunsets. I get those too, but you get a beach with it.
Yes, I do.
I keep telling him he can move home, people.
I can. Saying. And
he does have his baby there. You do have your daughter.
I'm like, have you seen my daughter? I keep trying to be like, no, I'm gonna go do this career in LA. I'm gonna go here, and then the next week I'm just like, my baby girl.
Yeah, that face, and she's a cutie.
so yes.
And she's a cutie. So yeah, I could definitely, and that's a little bit tougher to like see a kid when they're like on an island. It's not like they're like a stayed away, quick, easy, cheap flight. It's not, it's not like that. So
exactly. So I'm eventually make it happen, but we're in a slow process right now.
We'll still go back to the fact that he even moved there to begin with, and then had a child on that island. Like, he couldn't have picked Washington, Vermont, any other place to have a kid.
Hey,
he had to go to Hawaii. He got mystified by the island women. That's what happened. Look, that's what happened.
True story. There are worse places to be stuck on the planet than here. So I'm all right.
Well, yeah, that's my cave conquering moment. So check them out if you guys do have Prime and you're planning on watching the NFL game Thursday. Definitely check those ladies out. Congratulations to them.
Cool. All right. So that means it's time. It is time for the world famous WTF, what the fuck moment of the week.
Cue music.
Dun, dun. This week's What the Fuck moment goes to college sports. And we're going to go to the number 2 team in the land, the Clemson Tigers, who have been blowing everybody out this year because they've had a great squad the past few years. And they have decided, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, to change quarterbacks. They just did. They just did. Just like 2 days ago. And now Dabo Sweeney is on TV saying, hey, I don't understand why the guy that I benched for absolutely no reason wants to transfer now. Because you're benching him now. I'm sorry, just a little back history here. This quarterback who they are putting on the bench has taken over for Deshaun Watson when he went away to the NFL.
Right.
So he beat out 2 other top 10 quarterbacks who then transferred because he beat them out in a fair and open competition. And now, so he was the starter this year, and I believe he's a junior, but they've got a hotshot rookie. He looks like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. Sunshine. He looks exactly like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. And so everyone's been enamored with the high school kid. And every time they put him in games or in big situations, he doesn't play all that great. So then they end up having to put back in the guy who's been with the team for several years and almost won them a national championship last year, and has been whooping everybody's ass this year. And then the coach just decided, yo, you got to go. Mm-hmm. And we're handing it over to the rookie white boy. We're handing it over to Sunshine. And he just has, like, I saw an interview with him today, and he just has absolutely no clue as to why the kid wants to transfer.
Right.
It's like he hasn't gotten in any trouble. He's done everything they asked of him. He beat out 2 top 10 prospects who since transferred to other schools. And they can't give him an explanation. They're just going a different route. So he's like, fine, I'm going a different route. And it's the reason why it's my what the fuck moment is they haven't struggled at all this year.
Right.
And the one game that somebody got close was against Texas A&M in week 2. And when they kept putting in, like I said, the freshmen, they kept getting in trouble. And so then old boy had to come and ball and bail them out. And just in the middle of the season, no explanation whatsoever, we're just going a different route. And I bring this up because we were talking about Tyrod Taylor earlier.
Right.
And we're talking about the plight of black quarterbacks in the NFL and how they're held to a different standard and are often replaced for absolutely no reason whatsoever and no justification whatsoever. And I just wanted to bring this up because, this is where it starts. It happens. It's a systemic thing that happens, and it sucks. It's ridiculous. I became a Dabo Sweeney hater a couple years ago during the Colin Kaepernick situation because he came out and denounced kneeling and saying you shouldn't be using your platform for political statements.
Right.
Yet every time you see Dabo Sweeney in an interview, he uses his platform to start being an evangelical and talk about baby Jesus and how he should rule the world and everyone should just have faith. And so he was a hypocrite on that end. And his latest move is just hypocritical. The guy who works hard and has proven himself, you're just taking him out just because you got to feel it. It's junk. It's garbage. It's horse shit. What the fuck? I hope Clemson loses all the rest of their games.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because honestly, if I'm a quarterback, I mean, these kids worked their butts off to get to that point. To get to Clemson, D-Wood, like one of the top programs in the country, for you to get to that point, for you to work your butt off, for you to win that slot, and he's already going up against the wall for him to even win it. and then for someone to try to play you after you're balling is like, what? I mean, those
Yeah.
things don't add up. And honestly, I don't see a Nick Saban doing something like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're the
And
best one for the job, I'm keeping you in there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to win championships. I'm going to put the person there that's winning. That
and the
won the
fact
job.
is, it's funny that you brought up Nick Saban because Nick Saban is actually doing the opposite. The younger guy who's beating him out, he's still making time for the other guy to be a part of the team and play.
Yes. Because we all know that younger one is technically better than him.
Yeah.
We all know that. But I think for him, he's just like, you know, this kid dedicated his life. He's still a great ball player. He's just not the best one. We'll find a spot for you. But
Exactly.
that's why he's winning the multiple championships, you know, like multiple. There's a reason why, you know, this is some buffoonery, like in Clemson.
Exactly.
Like that's really sad and depressing to see. And I hope those fans and that organization, that athletic director steps in with stuff like that. Like the AD needs to step in on that.
Yeah. Well, they will when they
Or you
get
could
two
be like
losses
Nebraska
late.
and lose your quarterback and then have nothing but a walk on.
Yeah, they'll be hurting when they get two losses at the end of the season, and the freshman can't handle the pressure or something like that, and now
Right.
their other quarterback is gone because he's transferring.
Yep.
So, you know, it'll come back to bite them sooner than later.
Right. That's a great WTF moment though. That is very WTF. What the?
You know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I literally had to go. I literally had to go into Clemson's previous games. I was like,
Check your
I'm looking at-
sources.
yeah, I'm like looking at stats. I'm like, did he screw up somewhere?
Right.
Did he show up late to a meeting?
What is it?
Yeah.
Maybe he posted a Black Power something on it, or maybe they overheard a conversation of him saying "I love Kaepernick." I could foresee some shadiness happening if that was the case.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, that's good. That's awesome. Great WTF moment. So this Thursday, we have a game this evening.
Oh yeah.
It should be a good game. It is the Rams and Minnesota. Even though Minnesota was looking extra suspect, I don't know. I'm hoping they'll get it back together. But you know, I love my Rams, and I'm sorry, I'm taking the Rams. And I feel okay about that.
Yeah. Yep. You've got no argument here. But they didn't even what was this last spread I saw? What's the spread showing you?
I have 8, which probably means it's
Oh,
like
you
7.5.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone's moving a little slow. We're gonna pull it back up real quick. Currently, ESPN has the Rams at 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, I see them winning by 7. Honestly, the Vikings are on the road, and like I said, they're still dealing with turmoil, and if old boy's going to show up, and mental health and that kind of deal. Now, the Rams do have an issue of, what is the guy? One of their main guys got hurt in that Chargers game. One of their rocks for their defense. I can't remember the guy's name. I think he was their shutdown corner.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Talib, my boy.
No, the Rams shutdown corner.
That is the Rams. Talib.
No, it was the guy who Talib's playing opposite of.
Oh, well, Talib's out on IR, so.
Oh, right. Let's see. There's injuries in this thing. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at these.
So that would be really terrifying if both of them are out, because Talib is definitely out.
Yeah. Cornerback Peters is questionable. I saw him
hopefully
go
he
down.
questions and stretches out because
Yeah.
Talib is out. So y'all both can be out.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that might be a little suspect then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me go with Minnesota. Then. That's a little worrisome.
Yeah. I'm gonna still stick with the Rams though.
Okay,
I'm gonna still stick with
it's
the
more
Rams.
fun when we pick opposites. So I'll go with Minnesota.
Dude, last week I thought we were gonna have some chaos going on. We had 8 games that were opposite picks.
I know.
And we both finished 7-9.
That's funny. With all that.
Yeah, all that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be something about somebody's gonna make a move.
Right.
Nope, nope. We both
Nope.
finished 7-9.
Well, we're consistent.
Yep.
We're consistent. Good. Well, I'm excited, you guys. Definitely. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Minnesota so we can mix it up a little bit. Pepper's gonna go ahead and go with the Rams. So we'll see. We're gonna go off the 7-point spread. 7-point spread.
Yep, that'll work. That'll work. So,
Okay. And we'll go from there. But that is our show for this week. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Like I said, it's the K Sports on Facebook, K Sports Podcast on Instagram, and jump on our YouTube. It's K Sports TV. Subscribe to our page. Like, share it if you love it. It's really easy to listen to. Probably easier than downloading it. So YouTube will give you the alerts. So without further ado, I am your host, Anastasia.
And I am Pepper, the misunderstood evil genius, everybody's favorite cousin, the most powerful comedian in the universe.
And this is The Cave.
You have entered The Cave with Anastasia and the misunderstood evil genius.